Back everyone. Oh my god. Just a second. Welcome back everyone. For today's video we have round 9 of the FIDE candidates 2026. This is Anish Giri playing with the black pieces versus Fabiano Caruana. Let's start with this one. The game starts with e4. We get e5, knight f3, knight c6, and then bishop to c4. The Italian game, right? So after bishop to c5, this is the Giochi piano, and we're gonna get a little bit of theory here. Castle, knight to f6, d3, castle, knight to d2, d6, c3, a5. So everything so far has been played before. I'm gonna tell you a little bit ahead when this happens, when there is a novelty. But h3, bishop to a6, bishop to b5, bishop a7, rook to e1, knight e7, d4, knight g6, just rerunning the knights. Those are common ideas. Also for white, some point maybe to go here. Bishop to d3, knight to h5, knight to f1, and now knight to h4, knight to g3. And here we're gonna get a novelty, which is usually black. Black takes this pawn on d4. White takes back, the game continues. But in this game, Anish decides to take this bishop. Okay, knight takes on d3, it's a good move. And now queen takes back. Perfect, so we're gonna get a strategic battle on these, like, let's say around the center, right? Especially these two squares. Something is gonna happen where Anish is gonna have double pawns, so we get d5, bishop to d7, bishop to g5, f6, bishop a3, bishop takes, and now here the question is, wait, I don't want to double my pawns. Why don't we just take, for example, with a queen? Because now black has ideas of f5 and f4, and it's shown that this is better for black, right? Okay, so f takes on e3 is the best move. So don't take back with the queen, but with the pawn. Now they have double pawns, and this is a permanent weakness for the rest of the game, at least for white. Okay, now we get e5 with the idea of pushing b4 maybe at some point. So black wants to avoid that. They play b4, but here we can just play en passant. Okay, a takes on b3, queen b8. Trying to protect these weaknesses, right? This square is weak, c6 is weak. Also maybe trying to go after this pawn. Okay, c4, and that's what black is going to do. Queen b6. Okay, I want to avoid c5. And now we get knight to f5. Here, do you take this knight? No, you just have, I think we want to look at the pawn structure. And this is a great bishop. A great bishop, it can travel a lot of squares. Long term, we can argue all of these are targets, right? All of these are targets. So here we don't really want to take this, because after they take, it's gonna be terrible for black to play. So rook to e8, knight to h4. In case it's also an invitation saying, okay, if you want to take here, I'm gonna put my knight, and this knight's gonna be a monster. So b4, king to h2, rook to a3, occupying or fighting for the open file. Rook to b1, rook to a2, infiltrating. Queen to d1, knight takes on h4, knight takes back, rook to e8. Okay, now we have the open file for, this is going to be a long-term weakness as well, right? We have the open file for the rook, rook to e2, queen to a7, now rook c1, queen to b6, a fight for the, this is a fight for the c file, right? Knight to f3, h6, knight to e1, king h7. And if you look at the computer moves, this or at the eval bar, I can also turn it on, try to turn it on. This is about a draw with a slight advantage for black. But to me, black has too many weaknesses. We've mentioned this before, double pawns here, the open file for the rooks, and white doesn't have any active plans. I think what is more interesting to me is this pawn structure. This pawn structure, and you're gonna see it later. Well, okay, I'm gonna just wait for later to tell you. So rook takes on a2, knight to c2, is the only mistake. Is the if you we analyze it with chess.com, is saying this is a mistake. The best move is just to go rook to c2. Okay, rook to c2 and then rook to a7, for example. c5, d takes on c5, knight d3, the game continues. So here is, yeah, you don't want to give the open file for the rook, right? So this is what is happening with this knight move. It doesn't look bad, but it's a mistake. So bishop to e8, and now we're gonna rewrite the bishop. Okay, bishop to e8, queen d3, bishop to g6, and the problem is this queen is tied to the defense of these pawns. Okay, rook to e1. A mistake is to take, but that's what happens. Rook takes on a1. Rook to b2 was the best move. Rook to b2 was the best move in the position, trying to infiltrate. Okay, this happens. Knight takes. And the position is completely shut down on this side of the board. Okay, so we get c5. And what is white supposed to do? The interesting thing to me in this game is whenever you have a close endgame with a lot of pawns are not going anywhere, especially these pawns are not going anywhere. The knight is considered to be better, right? Because the knight, you say, okay, it has more flexibility, but it's gonna take forever. Like, you cannot find good moves for the knight. It's gonna have 3, 4, 5 moves before the knight finds a good square. So what you're supposed to do is open up the position for white, right? You don't want to have a close position all the time. So here, en passant is the best move. Is the best move, even though you're saying, wait, are we just opening the position for the bishop and the queen? Yeah, that's exactly what the computer is saying. After knight c2, for example, we can even take this with the bishop, but yeah, now there's tactics. Here, this is hanging. So if takes, bishop versus knight, now the knight is gonna be slightly better. Okay, this is weird. So after c5, Fabi didn't play that move. He just played king to g3. Okay, trying to help in the defense of the pawn. Queen to a7, queen to b1, h5, king to f3, h4, and now the king is completely cut off. Jack is cut off from this square. Now king to g4, queen to e7, right? The king cannot take here because this is a threat. Now queen to d3, and finally in here I believe that black resigned. Yeah, white resigned after f5 check because of the continuation. Fabi knows the continuation is horrible. So for example, if they take this pawn, it takes on f5. We can even move the king away. It's like, wait, are we just hanging the bishop? Yeah, if that happens, e4 checkmate. Queen g5, sorry, checkmate. So let's say that they take the pawn. Okay, here, sorry, let's say they move the king. Yeah, this comes with check again. And now they're just losing the queen. It's completely losing, right? They just lost the game. So yeah, it was just one and two mistakes. There was nothing big. And this lesson of, okay, you have to open up the position for this knight because it doesn't really have good squares. So yeah, just take en passant here and the game will be a draw. The game is shown to be a draw after this. Alright guys, thanks for watching. As of now, Hikaru Nakamura is about to draw his game against Andrei Esipenko, so he's gonna end up with 4 points, and the rest of the games were also draws. Okay, Shu is having, and in the women's section, Bashal is having an amazing tournament, as well as Shu, Jinner, so let's see how that goes. The competition is still on, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.